Hello everyone, let's explore the new chapter, which is ClickUp Hierarchy. The purpose of this chapter is to help you understand how ClickUp organizes work in a structured way. You will learn the 6 levels of hierarchy, which form the foundation of how everything is arranged inside ClickUp. This will also help you understand where to place different work items, so you can avoid confusion later when managing tasks and projects. Additionally, you will learn how to create your first list, which is an important step in getting started with real work. Overall, the goal is to build clarity and confidence before moving into the actual task management. ClickUp follows a clear top to bottom structure similar to a pyramid, or where every level has a specific role. Nothing in ClickUp is random. Instead, everything follows a defined and organized structure. Work moves in a logical flow from broad organization levels down to individual tasks, ensuring that everything is properly categorized and easy to manage. Think of it as a structured tree or pyramid. So the 6 levels in the ClickUp hierarchy are workspace, space, folders. Folders are optional. We have lists, tasks, and subtasks. So the tasks are where the real work happens, and subtasks really help to break down the work further. So here is an image of the ClickUp hierarchy. So let's go over each of them one by one. So workspace. Workspace is the highest level in ClickUp and represents the entire organization. It acts as the main container for everything within the system. For example, a workspace could be GB marketing. In most cases, there is usually one workspace per company, and all work lives inside it. You do not directly work inside the workspace. Instead, you use it to organize and structure everything below it. It is essentially the root level of all work in ClickUp. Then lower down, we have spaces. Spaces are the next level inside Workspace, and they represent high-level division, such as a department or major functions. Common examples include marketing, product, and operations. These spaces appear as colored sections in the ClickUp sidebar, making it easier to navigate between them. Each space can have its own settings, workflows, visibility, rules, and it can be either public or private, depending on access requirements. Okay, folders. As I mentioned, folders are optional. Folders are used as a grouping mechanism inside a space, but they are completely optional. They are only used when they help improve, clarify the hierarchy in the organization. For example, inside a marketing space, you might have folders like Campaign 2025 or Content Calendar. If the structure is small, folders can be skipped entirely. However, when used, every folder contains lists inside it. Since tasks cannot exist at this level, use folders only when they add value and avoid unnecessary complexity. Okay, let's move further down. We have lists. So lists are where actual tasks live, and they represent a collection of related work items. A list can represent a project, a topic, or workflow, depending on how your team is structured. The most important rule is that tasks must always live inside a list. There are no loose tasks at the space level. Lists can either be placed inside folders or directly inside spaces. So this depends on your setup. In simple terms, lists provide the structure for organizing tasks. Okay, let's move on to the tasks. Tasks are the actual work items where execution happens. Examples include designing a homepage, writing a blog post, or creating a launch video. Tasks are powerful because they include important features such as assignees, due dates, statuses, comments, attachments, and subtasks. This makes tasks the core execution layer or ClickUp, where all real work is tracked and completed. So in the end, we have subtasks, which is number 6. Subtasks are tasks within a task. So this is used to break complex work into smaller, manageable steps. For example, if the main task is planning an event, subtasks might include booking a venue, inviting attendees, and arranging catering. Subtasks help improve clarity, ownership, and task breakdown, and they can even support nested subtasks if needed. They are especially useful when a task is too large or complex to manage as a single item. So this was the overall hierarchy layout and the details. Okay, let's go through an example. So to understand ClickUp clearly, we can think of it as a structured system that organizes work from the highest level down to the smallest actionable step. At the top level, we have the workspace, which represents the entire organization. For example, in our case, this could be GB marketing. The workspace acts as the main container where everything is in ClickUp. Inside the workspace, we have spaces, which represent major departments or functional areas. For example, marketing department is one space. Space helps separate different areas of work so everything does not get mixed together. Within a space, we may have folders, which are optional and used for grouping related projects. For example, a folder like Campaign 2025 can hold multiple related marketing activities under one category. So inside folders, we have lists which represent actual projects or workflows. For example, a spring product launch is a list where all related tasks for that project are organized. Inside the list, we have tasks which represent individual work items. For example, create launch video is a task that needs to be completed. Finally, each task is broken into subtasks, which are smaller steps required to complete the main task. For example, writing the script and filming footage are subtasks under the task of creating a launch video. So to summarize, ClickUp follows a pyramid structure, starting from the workspace at the top down to the subtasks at the smallest level. This structure ensures clarity, organization, and smooth workflow management across teams. Let's move on and see the practical implementation of the ClickUp hierarchy. All right, team, let's move to the practical implementation of the hierarchy. Let's go to the space folder. Okay, since this is empty, we can easily create another list, but if there are any other files, we can delete them to make it more clear. So let's click on the plus button. Let's create lists. Let's give it a name. For example, an engineering project, or let's give it Solar setup. Just an example. So we've created another list by the name of solar setup. So inside it, we can make any tasks as we wish. So let's put an example, example 1. So this is a task. Okay, similarly to creating a list, we can also create folders. We go on to the plus button with the space. We can click on folders and we can create one similarly. Folders, as I've mentioned, are optional. So in order to reduce the complexity, let's leave that out currently. Another important concept is the concept of access and permissions. So let's go in the space option on the 3 dots. And we see the more options. We have the all space settings. So we can make it private or public, depending on who you want to share it with. We also have the options to give permissions to specific folders or to specific lists to our guests, which are outside of our ClickUp network, which are not our team members. So we also have those options, but these are a bit advanced concepts. Currently it's better to know that these things can be done, and we should keep that in mind. So that's all from the ClickUp hierarchy. Thank you.